We don't look at charts for the sake of looking at charts. We look at charts to make better investing decisions. That's why we look at the ETFs. And what are we looking for? We're looking for strength, areas to maybe look into, and areas of weakness, things to avoid. That's power for us, and it's what we do in Mission Winners. Systematize. Biotech's picked up here, and it's picked up here. It shows that biotech is strengthening. Something to look at. What's the one fly in the ointment? And it had a good volume on this bar right here, folks. And it had decent volume on this bar, lifting across that top. I'm not saying buy it here. Here's the 200-day overhead. I'll tighten this up a bit so you can see that. There we go. There's the 200-day overhead, some resistance, and it's rallied on decreasing volume. Maybe it'll form a handle again and take off again. Cloud computing, technology. Look at the volume on that bar. I'll say it again. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted. It's below the falling 200-day, but it has a higher low here, and it's starting to pick up, and there was good volume on that bar. They voted. There we go. Cloud computing. Maybe look at some cloud computing stocks. By the way, you can type in this ticker and find out the top 10 holdings in this ETF, and that'll help you make better investing decisions. Electric vehicles picking up. You know what's a big chunk of this? Well, we made another video on it, and we're locked into it big. Tesla. And this is, a big chunk of it. It's picking up here. What's it telling you? Hey, electric vehicles are picking up. There you go. Dow Jones Internet starting to pick up also. Still below the falling 200-day. Tons of overhead, but it is starting to pick up. Internet technology. IBD 50 lifted across this base. Volume's not real heavy, but it's starting to pick up. Again, the IBD 50, it's a great proxy for growth stocks. Growth stocks and growth stock investing. That's good to see. Gold miners lagging, really nothing to do with it. By the way, notice this, down on heavy volume, down on heavy volume. Not much special here, be careful with that. I avoid. Gold started to lift up. It's a little choppy here, okay? Be careful with it. Would be great to form a handle right here. I'll draw something for you. These are things we do at Mission Winners. You don't have to forecast. Draw a handle here. What do you see here? I see, and then you've got this. I'll draw this for you too. I'm not saying it's going to happen. This could form a cup in a handle. What's it going to need? It's going to need really heavy volume pushing through the handle. There you go. We always have a plan. Next one on the list. Drag that over a bit. Let's move on here. Biotech. Another biotech ETF picking up. What does that tell you? Hey, biotech strengthening. Maybe look at some biotech stocks. There you go. Isn't that nice? Systematized. Online retail starting to pick up a little bit. Lifted across this base. Good volume on that bar. You can look up IBUY, find out what their top 10 holdings are. Still below the 200-day. I've got to share this with you. This is a strong chart. There's a lot of overhead in here, folks. Just be aware of that. Don't get sloppy and don't get reckless. That's important. Don't get complacent. Oil and gas dropped here fairly hard. Be careful with oil and gas, energy. Technology picking up a little bit. You see that? And guess what? We were involved in technology with a ton of MAXLIST stock. Higher low setup, another higher low setup. And it's working. I'm not saying buy it here, but this price action was leading us into technology, including the price action on the MAXLIST stocks. Medicine, what do you see here? There you go. Here's a potential gift for you. Here's the base. Just going sideways. Good volume on that bar, isn't there? I'll make this bigger so you can see it easier. Perhaps, and it is, it's forming a handle. Note the volume pickup here. You could do a search and find out what their top 10 holdings are. Maybe you'll see something in there. The ETF doesn't look bad either. There you go. That's power for us. Mid-cap, what's this doing? It's forming a handle right here, folks. Here's the cup and here's the handle. And it's nothing fancy. That's the part I love. Everybody can see it. Right there. Form a little handle here. What's it need to do? Take out the top of that handle and take it out on heavy volume. That's power for you. I'm not saying it's going to happen, by the way. Okay, please, I don't do that. U.S. construction's hanging in there. These tops right here. And I'll draw it for you. And you could do a search and find out. There you go. That's close enough. What does it need to do, though? It's a little loose here. Be aware of that. What does it need to do? Take out that line and do it on heavy volume. There you go. You can see the rally spreading out. S&P growth picking up. That's good to see. Okay, I'm not saying buy it here, but it's been trending up. And look at that. There's a higher low here versus here. There's a higher low here versus here. I was in Colorado when this part was happening, which was an awesome trip. Did a lot of hiking and climbing. It was great. We were, believe it or not, we were near some snow and hail, big time hail where we were, several different places in the mountains. It's working. That's great. IWM, small caps. Look at it picking up. Isn't that nice? What does that indicate? Still below the 200-day, but it's showing us that the rally's picking up. Jets. It's kind of like the Paul McCartney song. Jets, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I won't sing it. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's because I can't sing. Anyway, airline stocks starting to pick up. A lot of overhead, though. Be careful with it. Still below the falling 200-day. Regional banking starting to pick up a little bit. Okay. Nice to see, forming a little handle. Look at the volume on that bar. That's good to see. They're buying it. Still below the falling 200-day. Mid-cap, what do you see here? I see a cup with a handle right here, folks. Note the volume pickup. What does it tell us? Pat, it looks like the rally is spreading out into various areas. Isn't that what you want? If I sat here and said, we looked through 20 ETFs, yeah, really, there's only 2 of them that are strong. This is telling us that things are spreading out. I'm not saying it's going to continue. I'm saying living in the now, the rally is spreading out into various sectors, and that's a plus. Now flip the coin. What does this tell you? Stay away from oil services. Look at that. It's been dropping. Be careful. That's power for you. Look at oil dropping here. What does that say? Oil energy. Stay away from energy and oil stocks. There we go. Online retail. Look at that long base. Picking up. Isn't that nice? Now, I'm not saying buy it, but note, it was basing here and starts to pick up. You could go on and see what their top 10 holdings are, and maybe you'll find something. That's systematizing. We have a limited amount of money. We have a limited amount of time. We use both wisely. Infrastructure is picking up. It's formed a cup with a handle. Takes out the tops of these here with heavy volume and pushing through the 200-day. There you go. You could buy the ETF if it triggers also. Remember that. You don't have to buy the individual stocks. You can buy the ETFs too. All right? What does this tell you? In 1 second, it says, stay away from pharmaceuticals. Done. That's it. Stay away from the drugs. In more ways than one. Okay? That's dad talking. That's me, the dad talking. Okay? QID. Okay, this is the inverse. When the market's going up, this is falling. Well, the market's going up. As you know, it's improving. QLD. Higher low setup. This low higher than this low. This low higher than this low. Buy. Looks here. Buys here. And look at it working. Isn't that nice? QLD. This is beautiful with no hassle. I love it. Okay, I'm not saying buy it here. Okay, QQQ, same situation. Retailing, picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Inverse ETF tells you to be careful, market strengthening. Cloud computing across these tops here. It lifted. Still below the 200-day, not a lot of power. Be careful with it. But it is showing things spreading out. Silver's picking up a little bit here, maybe forming a low level handle. Still below the moving averages. We'll need real good volume doing it. By the way, there was heavy selling on that bar there too. Okay, just be aware. Steel's picking up. See this cup with a handle? Go across these tops. That would be nice to see. Steel, semiconductors, technology. Look at the higher low setup. And it's working. Isn't that great? I'm not saying buy it. But again, it's showing us, reinforcing the rally is spreading out. S&P 500, spiders working. That's nice to see. SSO, higher low setup. Buy here. Look at this. And look at the run. That's real nice. That's what we look for. Lock some profits in great shape. Again, the S&P 500 showing the rally spreading up. Here we go. Solar stocks picking up a little bit. Look at the volume pickup on this. Needs to power through there with real volume. Solar stocks. Small cap, similar situation. Trending up. Good to see. Uranium, kind of, sort of, but kind of lagging too. Be careful with that, okay? Oil, another one. I just showed you 3 energy ETFs. What do you say? Stay away from energy stocks. That's power. Don't only think about this is what I should buy. You can also say these are areas to avoid. Aerospace and defense starting to pick up. Maybe forms another handle, lifts up. Still below the 200-day. Don't get sloppy and complacent. Biotechnology, another biotechnology ETF picking up here. That's good to see. Home builders picking up. That's good to see. Materials kind of lagging here. Not a lot of power. I'd be careful with that. Energy dropping, another energy-related ETF. Lifted a little bit on Friday, but what does it tell you? Stay away from energy stocks. That's real power for you folks. Financial's starting to pick up. Got a little handle here. Go across these tops. What does it say? Another indication that potentially the rally is spreading out. There we go. Industrials has been picking up. It's again telling us the rally's acting better, right? Technology, another technology ETF picking up. And it's been telling you higher lows, folks. This low higher than this low, this low higher than this low. Gosh, let me see here. Do we own any technology-related stocks? Oh, yeah, let me think here. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. The list goes on, folks. The MAXLIST stocks. Love them. There we go. Consumer staples forming a little handle. Maybe it'll take off. That's good to see. Utilities are hanging in here. This is always a slower group, but I like to show it just so we have a better understanding of all the groups. Healthcare's little, look at this. You got a long base right here. I'll draw this for you. Right here. Go here. Good volume on that bar. Forms a handle. Healthcare. You could look at some healthcare stocks, or you could look at the ETF. That's nice too. Consumer discretionary has been grinding up. That's good to see. I like that. All we do is metals and mining picking up a little too. Do you realize how good this is? It helps us. Areas to focus in. We have I'll say it again. We have a limited amount of money and a limited amount of time. Why don't we systematize and see where the money's going or where the money's moving away from? Here's another energy ETF. I just showed you 3 or 4 of them. It's been dropping. Be careful with that, okay? Please be careful. Retail starting to pick up a little bit right here. That's nice to see. Software, technology related, started to pick up. Look at the volume on that bar when it pushed above those tops. Technology. So now let's look at the MAXLIST stocks. See the higher low setup? This low higher than this low. Buys here. And look at the trend. And it's working very nicely. Note the trend up the 8 EMA. If you look closely, this did not close below the 8 EMA for this entire move. We're in great shape with it. We're just letting it work. Here's the best thing it could do if it could form a little handle here and break out again. But we're in good shape with it from here, so we're letting it work. Move on. Amazon. Higher low setup. This low higher than this low. Trending. Right there. I marked it. This bar. Buy. Pretty original, huh? I guess I could say buy this bar, but this bar, buy. And note, look at the volume pickup on that bar. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Folks, they voted. And it's working. We've sold some into strength. We're in great shape. Resistance at the 200-day would be nice to form a handle here for a couple of days and then lift off again. And if it does, guess what? We'll buy more. Alibaba, this is just slop, okay? There's nothing, we've avoided this for, we haven't touched it this year. There's nothing there, leave it alone. Google did not have a higher low, right? Didn't buy it through here, okay? It's working up. Now what is it doing? It's forming a shelf right here, all right? By the way, there was a breakout right there that we participated in, okay? See the volume pickup? See the clean and simple base? Now it's just meandering. What would be nice? Take out the highs of this bar on good volume in a good market. MAXLIST stocks. Meta. Well, this is the old Facebook, and there's really nothing great going on with it, so we'll leave that alone. Microsoft. You see this base right here? See the higher low setup? See the volume on that bar? People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted here. We voted with them. And it's working very nicely with no hassle. We've locked a little profit in, some portion of our shares. We're in great shape. No stress, just letting it work. Here's the beautiful part. Selling some into strength guarantees profits for us. No matter what happens, think about this. I'm very pragmatic about this. This stock could fall all the way back down to our buy price, and we could sell the rest for break even, but because we sold some shares into strength up high, we're still going to make money. No matter what happens, we're going to make money. And that's good. Continue onward. Netflix, there's just nothing happening here. Okay, move on. Nvidia, higher low setup. This low, higher than this low. See that where I said these bars? Yeah, those were buys. These bars right in here. And it's lifting, especially on that igniting bar. Look at that. Look at the volume when it pushed through the 21 day. Look at that. And it's grinding. What else is it doing? We've sold some into strength. But notice this right here. Could this form a handle? I've started to draw it already. Could this form a handle and take off? You bet it could. And if it does, guess what we'll do? We'll buy more. You see that base right there? I'll slide this over. Look at the base that it's forming. See that handle? Again, I marked it for the VIPs. Going sideways. I would love this just to base here a little bit and then take off across this line with a heavy volume surge. And if it does, you know what? It could be a new buy or it can be an add-on. And we will be doing that if it does. Here's Tesla. Tesla started to lift off. Entries, higher low, entry down lower, right in here, and it's working. Have sold some into strength several times, sold more on Friday. Why? I'm going to show you something here that will really help you. Here's what it was doing on Thursday, lifting above the 200 day, okay? By the way, we bought here and here, okay? That is a thing. That's good money, folks. I mean, that 770 up to 940 something, do the math with no hassle. So we said, okay, starts to lift through here, okay, that would be good. But then it does this instead. Notice this on this bar, gapped up and reversed down, didn't do anything with it. And then it loses the 21 or the 200 day, the purple line on a pickup in volume. What did we do? We sold more into strength and locked in more profits. It's that easy. One of the best tactics we use is this. Good investing is not an all or none decision. It's not, oh, I'm going to buy 100 shares. That's all I can buy. I'm buying 100 shares. Ease into it, ease out of it. You will make money. There's also another very important variable. By selling some into strength, you've guaranteed yourself a profit. You've also relieved psychological stress, like, oh gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do here. You're going to make money. You sell some off. If the rest of your shares comes back and you sell it for break even, you made money on those shares. You know what that means? On those first shares you sold, or second, or whatever lot it was, you're going to make money on the investment. That's what I like. By the way, on all these charts I showed you, we don't look at a 5 minute, the whole move. And then finally, you've got Twitter. Twitter started to lift off. Twitter is news related. We know about it. And maybe it's going to go, maybe not. It's just news stocks scare me. All right. If the news turns bad, it could gap down. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Okay. I don't know the future, but over the years, decades, I know that when you get involved with potential news situations, you just got to be a little careful. Anyway, that's an overview of the max list. You can see what we own and you can see why we own it.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.